Hello, Internet friends. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett, and here is your first alert forecast. In fact, we've got a first alert weather warning in place on Thursday. We're going to be tapping into some pretty heavy rain, a little bit different than the last couple of systems that have hit the West Coast. And by the way, it just seems to be non-stop. We're tracking more systems through next week that look like they're going to continue to batter Northern California, and we're going to catch a piece of that as well. In fact, let me start you off right now with a live look from Westport, or at least an attempt at it. This is what I'm calling the drama cam tonight. We've already got some steady rain and some gusty winds. In fact, it looks like the coast and the Olympics are going to be taking the brunt of this system here. Anywhere between 5 to 8 inches of rain is expected over there. Looks like we'll pick up some pretty impressive totals in the lowlands as well. Steady rain already starting across the Seattle metro. Roads are wet out there. We've got some east-southeasterly winds coming in about 11 to 14 miles an hour. Those are going to pick up overnight tonight as well. In fact, that's a big part of our weather story. So we will be in first alert mode on Thursday, and here's what we're looking at. The potential for periodically heavy and steady rain. We're going to be seeing some foothill winds. I'll tell you what that means and the mechanics behind it in a moment here. Potential for snow and landslides and some urban flooding. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Again, the highest impacts will be along the Olympics and the Kitsap Peninsula out towards Hood Canal as well. Looks like we could be tapping into some heavy rain there too. So taking a look at radar, this is right around 9:30 on Wednesday night that I'm recording this, and already seeing some of those showers starting to pick up, coming in from the south and west, moving towards the north and east. Now, as we back out, take a look at this moisture plume. Couple of things going on there. That is an atmospheric river, a pineapple express, whatever you want to call it. But you see that low, that comma-shaped form off towards the left or the west of that, that's a low pressure system, and it's creating what's called a steering flow. That steering flow is going to push that moisture up the west coast, and by the time it gets in on Thursday, it's going to be raining steadily from literally the Mexican border to the Canadian border. This is a big system. In fact, take a look at this. We put it into motion there, we tap into that moisture, and wham, there it is. Friday at 1 p.m. it's going to be raining from Baja all the way up into British Columbia and Vancouver Island as well, and you can see two systems behind that. It's going to be unrelenting along the west coast over the next few days, and again, it looks like Northern California will continue to take the brunt of that. So how much rain are we talking about? Well, kind of a lot, especially off towards the Olympics. You see that orange there? Even though we're looking at about 3 inches out towards Quileute, you go up a few thousand feet, and we are again looking at the potential for about 5 to 8 inches of rain there. So yeah, it looks like there's slide potential. They've already closed a lot of the campgrounds along the coast. Highly recommend you don't go out there because waves will be up to 23 feet on Thursday. See the red over the northern Cascades? Yeah, that's kind of an issue too, because it's going to start as snow and then switch over to rain. So we will see rain on snow, and that's going to create some issues too. In fact, there's a new avalanche warning I'll tell you about in a moment. Let's start here. This is Thursday morning, right around 6 a.m. You are seeing those yellows indicating bands of steady and heavy rain, and you're seeing some darker greens there as well. A lot of snow up in the mountains. In fact, we have a winter weather advisory in place overnight tonight. And then as we go through the day on Thursday, we catch a little bit of a break. It looks like it'll let up a little bit, but you see those yellows along some of the foothills in Snohomish County up towards Skagit and Whatcom, and then of course the coast stays active too. This is Thursday right around 6:30, and again, it looks like it will let up across parts of Puget Sound, but then we'll go right back into it again with more of that steady and heavy rain that looks like it'll be pretty much across from, say, Everett down towards Tacoma. But again, out near the coast, it just keeps on raining and steadily. Friday morning at 6 a.m., it's still raining, and what you notice up towards the northern Cascades there is that it's only snowing in the way high elevations. Snow levels pop up to about 7,000 and then about 6,500 feet on Friday. So yeah, a lot of that fresh new snow is going to get rained on, and that could create some issues. But it looks like as we go into the weekend, conditions will improve. This is Saturday right around 8:30. We catch a little bit of a breath before that next system moves in. In fact, we could even catch some sunlight as we go into Saturday afternoon. Now, the other part of this story is the wind. Take a look at those winds coming in from the east and ignore the numbers. You see those arrows, especially between Renton and Puyallup there. It looks like some of the gaps or some of the passes could get winds up to about 30, 40, and possibly even 50 miles an hour. Looks like they will peak early on Thursday, and then they start to back off a little bit. But you notice it's still gusty along the coast. Oh, and one more thing. It looks like we'll see those winds gust up again Friday afternoon, getting close to about 30 miles an hour in both Seattle and in Renton, and then calming again on Saturday afternoon. Winter weather advisory advisory in place until noon Thursday for the northern Cascades, and then that's 3,500 feet. We're expecting about 4 to 8 inches, but then when it starts to rain, that's going to be a problem. An avalanche warning is in effect for the mountains in King and Snohomish County. That'll be in place until Thursday at 7 a.m. I get a strong feeling that that will be extended out. In the short term, things looking pretty good up in the mountains. Snoqualmie Pass looks passable, and up towards Stevens, you still got some fresh snow on the trees there, but yeah, unfortunately, that's going to get rained on. 7-day snow and freezing levels show them popping up to about 7,000 feet on Thursday, 6,000 on Friday. But remember, it's a holiday weekend. Starting on Saturday and Sunday, we'll start to see those levels pop back down again. And if you are fortunate enough to have Monday off, could be a pretty good day up in the resorts. 7-day forecast shows steady rain and wind on Thursday. It looks like that will start to taper on Friday before we tap into that new system on Saturday evening. Looks like it's going to be soggy in Santa Clara for the Seahawks game, but that could give us home field advantage. And it looks like MLK Day is going to be chilly. Highs in the upper 40s. Overnight lows dip back into the 30s. So there you have it in a nutshell. In the King 5 newsroom, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett. Stay dry, stay safe, and keep looking up.